how did that shape me? And I can only make some correlations. Um, I admire my mother and I admire my sister a lot. Those are two of my biggest role models in my life. My mom, because she took that situation and made the absolute best of it, and she became a single mom, and my sister looked after me. So it shaped how she is today as well. But I think what we've learned and what Ashley and I learned is independence at an early age. And my mom worked her butt off. She would work till 7 or 8 o'clock at night. She was a hairdresser. She actually just retired this year. Very proud of her, but she just worked her butt off. So my work ethic, which I actually is one of the things that I love about myself, is my work ethic. I got 100% from her. I watched her work for everything that we had as children, and we'd never lacked. And we didn't come from money. It was because she was working hard. And it's never been lost on me. But go back to the independence, I think, you have to learn that, hey, mom's not going to be there all the time because she's working. So there's certain things that we would have to learn to do on our own to work together as a team to make sure that, things ran really smoothly in our lives. And I think you could probably attest to this, Devin, that I'm a very independent human.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're definitely independent, and that's one
You
thing
saw me chase a career prior to Burn. I had a one-track mind. I was independent. I knew what I needed to go do, and I was chasing success, and I wasn't going to let anything stop me. I think also when you go through a traumatic experience like that, you do build empathy, and I understand. I just understand how things can impact people on a very deep level, and most of the time when people are behaving in a negative way, I've learned that there's something going on inside of them that they just haven't healed yet. And I have a choice to react in one way or the other, right? I can match that energy and like add fuel to fire, or I can say, how can I approach this situation in a people first mentality? And that's one of our core values. And I would say that's one of my leadership styles is, how do we meet people where they're at? How do we understand the situation that they're in? And how do we create solutions for them? How do we break down barriers for them? And so, again, this is just me correlating a little bit of what I went through as a kid, but I think that allowed me to be a leader. My mom always instilled that in Ashley and I, and she's a leader too. She runs successful salons down in Southwest Naples or Southwest Florida. She's a people leader, she's building an empire. And so it's interesting to look at both of us and just say, okay, this is what we did with our lives, and why, and what were those core things that happened in our life to put us both in positions that we're in. And I think it's really special because, like you said, you can go in two different directions when things traumatic happen to you. But it takes a lot of healing inside. It takes a lot of reflection. And I think that's unfortunately what a lot of people haven't done in this world is truly healed from wounds that maybe they didn't even put on for themselves, but still got to heal from it. Otherwise it spills over in your adult life.
Do you think you're still working on that?
Absolutely. I think you're always going to be working on it. Grief is something that will go in waves and it never truly goes away, especially when you've lost somebody that's significant. So yeah, I had to heal a lot when you and I got married, when we started having kids. I can remember grief started creeping up when Cameron turned 5 and you turned 33. It was the same age my dad was. It was the same age I was. Things that I never expected to happen thoughts started to creep in. And so, yeah, I've had to do a lot of healing. And I think even I would portray a lot of that on you in our marriage of like being really afraid that when you would travel, remember how I'd be obsessive that you would text me at night?
Yeah.
Or like when you landed and you thought it like was, hey, why are you checking up on me? Like I'm good, But it was this deep, deep, deep fear that I was going to lose you too.
Yeah.
And I've had to work on that because that didn't always come out in a positive way. It came out in a controlling way. I think that I've had to, I think control is something that also has come out of that situation. I try to control a lot of things in my life because if I feel in control, then nothing bad can happen to me. And that deep fear of something bad happening, losing the loss of somebody that I love is still a biggest fear I have. And I think that comes through me trying to control a lot of situations. And in leadership, I've had to learn that that's not always a good thing. It's not a good thing in relationships. It's not a good thing in leadership and running a company because running a company and managing people, not everything is going to be, especially a franchise, not everything is going to be in your control. And so just learning to surrender what is in your control and what you can control and focusing on what you can control and letting yourself believe and have faith that everything else that's meant to be is going to be.
So when you talk about your story, what I hear is that Lori was really your mom, who I love
Lori
dearly.
is my mom.
Yeah.
Yes. She wasn't. Yes.
She she has been this like backbone
hmm
to you guys. And so you really got to see your mom grow, like growing up, going through this experience, you got to see how your mom handled herself and you just became like her in so many ways, from a strength perspective, a leadership perspective, work ethic perspective, like you mentioned. For people that go through these types of things that don't have that example of leadership in their lives, I'm curious what your thoughts are, or maybe some advice that you might give to somebody who, their mom wasn't like a rock for them. Their mom did spiral out a different direction. Is there any, if you were to play the tape back, could you put yourself in those shoes and maybe give some advice to somebody who doesn't have that leadership?
Yeah. I think from a leadership perspective, and I love my mom dearly. I just got done saying that, and she is going to probably listen to this podcast. So, there are still things though that I had to learn from a leadership perspective. Like my mom did not teach me everything about leadership. I've superseded like leadership abilities from what I saw my mom do. And I think she will attest to that if she listened to me. She never had to manage, 100, 200 plus people and what I'm doing now.
Hmm.
So I've had to go tap into external resources. I think that if you don't have somebody that's showing you, close in your life what leadership can look like, what resilience can look like, then you've got to go find those people. You got to go find that community. You and I tapped into Tony Robbins early on. I still think there's things that he said in those seminars that really resonate with me. We've read leadership books, we've done leadership training. You're constantly a life learner and you're trying to pull things from all different types of styles of leadership and make them your own. And so you never stop learning. You're never going to just have one person in your life that can truly teach you everything you need to know to navigate this world, because that's only one point of view and they only have certain life experiences. So they're going to tap out on what they're going to be able to offer you. And so that you have to be able to pull that from multiple different sources.